So I'm still in the daily charts back in this demo account. I did a little change here in the symbology. I got rid of the euro versus the yen and put in the euro versus the pound here. So these are the $2, and I'm looking to sell the dollar, and I'm looking to buy everything but. So basically, I'm long. Just like I said, I'm going to buy the new lows in the Australian and New Zealand. So right there, I'm long, and we're looking to cash out all the way up into here, and then I have a sells up in the floor there. So this is the new and improved precision drops, which have they can either be scalps or they can be swing trades. This is 3 orders spanning a 12 pip range. So you put it right on the top of the ledge where they allegedly take it to the ledge. And right there, so these are little scalp things. Here's a 12 pip zone with a 20 pip stop to make 50 pips. So here's the system. But I guess you have to have a little bit. You rewrite these to fit your own needs. But this is 8 hours. There's 3 tickets that span 12 pips, and each ticket has a stop of 15 to make 30. There's the span 40 pips, 5 tickets, 60 to make 120. In the log means that it's going to buy like this. And I spaced, it's the way they're spaced within there, but the linear spacing is just literally whatever you can't really divide 3 into 12, because if this is 12 pips, you're going to buy the top. So here's one ticket, and there's the other ticket. So you have to have, this is 6 pip deep. Okay, let's see what happens. And there you go. So this is there's a link to the this account and the stats on this thing. So I've been trading this all week here, and I just went to this new style halfway through it. I said I was going to do a fixed 25, 50, 100 pip stop, and they were all going to be double profits, and it was going to be like that. But I just couldn't live in that little box there, because sometimes the market only has a little bit of a bounce in it. Like here, there's a 50 pip bounce in here. So it doesn't always give you. There's some news coming out at 9 a.m. But it's really you have to wait for them to hit your limit. And I'm really trading pure limits on here. I did trade some stops earlier when this thing was crushing down, but I found stop entry is really pretty terrible on a daily chart. I was placing buy limits right up on here, and I knew that that was almost like getting at the market too. But these are all buy limits sitting right in that the gray. It's kind of hard to see, but I didn't want to make the ticket too dramatic. But yes, we're up about 2 right now. If I got out right now, I'd be up about $200 or $300 on the week. The leverage here is 100 to 1, and it's the British pound. So these are quibs, or what do they call them? Quips? And quips and pips. Okay, I'll come back here in about 20 minutes. I got to go de-ice my car. We're about to take profits on Australia. This will be cashing out soon, and I was in $2,000 margin last night, and I just kept hanging in there. I haven't pulled the take profit key. Only once this week did I pull the take profit key, and that was at when we were up at I think it was up by $200, and I just thought, well, you know what, they're going to take it down one more notch here probably. And here's an instance where these two currencies typically run in a mirror image of each other, but you did not get a you got this high, and this is the failure swing here, and you got a so you got the lower, you got the trap trade here on the euro, which you didn't get on this. It's just like they call it failure swing, but you just sell up there. And I said this is a great place to sell up here, so I'm short on that, and waiting for this to come here, but I'm actually looking for a total meltdown of the dollar today. And pretty much it's done. So these are 12 hours I will buy down here. Like here's the logarithmic styled order. Can't really see there. Actually, that one, in other words, it's going to buy, and then it's going to start buying harder. But see the profits, they have a fixed profit to that. It's the only way to create a virtual hard stop, trying to make it a harder stop. But if anybody really wants to delve into it, I can get back, and I need to get some more speed, some coffee. It's coffee, people. And I'll show you that you can create any kind of trade plan you want. Here is it's going to buy 5K spread over 80 pips, and this would look like this. And it doesn't look like 80 pips on this currency because this currency is so out of control. So you could have it so that it's going to just scalp on everyone, or you could have it so it's got a huge take profit to it. But those are just saving a lot of time, because if you want to buy a 50 pip range like this down here, you don't want to have to place singles like that, and just easier to drop a basket. You know you want to buy low here. And the stop thing, if you put limits in, you're really saying let the market come to you. So here I'm looking to buy the dollar Swiss if it plunges back below here, and if you really want it to get aggressive, you're putting in orders in down here that last like 12 hours and stuff. And you may not get filled on this stuff. The first logical place to buy is the previous top, but this could come roaring back so hard that it could come back to this top, and you can literally place the order here, and that way, if you know why you placed it there. I guess you put a you got to pay it's got to pay some attention. But here's an instance where you would have to be able to take 150 pips of heat here to make all those, but you have to pre-write that in the trade plan. You really should. I haven't cashed out anything like I could cash out right now. Like if I really didn't want to hold through this Wednesday swing and this midweek swing here, but the floor here is the profit on the daily. Is this double bottom here, a nice clean double bottom. But it may take a few days to get up there, because this is daily chart, so you can't really, but you can still scalp on these daily charts. Like you could have had, which I did, and I said Sunday that I would be buying everything from this low on down. So that was a scalp, and I banked about like $90 or something. I started with like 50,000 and whatever. But actually what I banked on this trade could be even more than that, because I'm trading all these pairs, which is very difficult. And the reason why I'm on the daily is because if I was on the 4 hour, there'd be so many nooks and crannies to get in that it would just be overwhelming. Here you can see the major places where the sellers should come in, most logically going to come in, all the way up into that. And as you come up into that, you may not make it there. And that's another thing to consider. And then people will probably laugh at the fact that I'm up $4 on this trade, but you got to realize that I've got these many orders working. So I've got all these 1Ks working, and that's what I say, you spread your risk. This buying one ticket, and yeah, if you're going to get out your Gartley scanner and you're going to look for that holy grail entry, and then you're going to miss it by 1 pip. Akil Stokes has a pending order, 1 pip. He's giving the market 1 pip a room. You know the spread on some of these currencies that these guys are trading is 2 pips. So I don't get how he's placing his order, because if you place your order, and this is goes out to I guess this is to I'm putting this out, shout out to Ryan here, just because say you go to the say you put your order down here, and you say I'm going to buy on a limit right here. It's possible you wouldn't get filled because the ask is above that. The bid has to come, so your orders have to be aggressive. They have to be, I'm going to buy everything from this wick down, or I'm going to buy here, because you need to get into, or you're going to be right. You got to like figure out, well, how far away, right? Okay, so hopefully you can make another $200 just before the news here. The news is coming out in 5 minutes. Expecting a big blast in my equity here. But that's a swing trade. I know this guy was like, oh, you're only making that many pips. Here we're up to all hand-placed orders, really. No market orders, mind you, and some stops, which are kind of, like I said, market orders. If you place your order within 3 pips of the current price, that's like market order. But if you're looking to get on these traps here, like here's the 5-minute trap. So if you were a scalper, you would drop one of these guys right here on the edge of here, and you pick up this this little pocket. But you'd have to span a very narrow pip range like this. You're going to look to get in, say, a 6 pip range right here. So your order would look like this. You'd put it right on the bottom there. Anyways, here comes the big equity blast. Get us over the hurdle here, and then let the rest go. There's the Australian dollar, but I got a long down here. See, I bought way down here, and on the hourly, this is that classic trap underneath. This is the same thing you saw in the euro. You see the same thing across the board. With the dollar's going to get smashed today. Just that's all there is to it. And I don't know why, but it's overdone. It's baked. It's had it. Put a fork in it. Okay, news in 3 minutes. And there we go. Screaming retracement. And like I said in the other video, this guy Ryan was telling me, wow, that's not live trading. What the fuck's that? I said, if you're swing trading, and when I said swing trading, I mean, if you bought yesterday's low, I don't know, what is that, a 10-year low, 5-year low, whatever the fuck, and you're still holding in your swing account, and your swing solid trading right now, you're up. If you bought that whole new low from Friday, you're up like 50 pips, 70 pips. So that's what I'm talking about. Talking about placing orders in the market without any indicators other than the fact that, gee, it looks like a resistance here. Now, if you look at the daily, you'd say, man, this thing's only, it hasn't, in the Fibonacci nonsense too. Don't forget that. So I'm short this, and I've already cashed out of the shorts here. I'm slightly short on the yen, I think, still. You got to follow the market's price action. All these people talk about price action, but they never draw trend lines on the price. If the price action matters, then it's just I'm befuddled. Okay, we're going to climax here in the euro to the dollar. I guess here the target is to hit the clip this wick up here. That's the finish line. And here we just keep screaming north on this. That would be the finish line. Up there is that top from. So I fixed the scale on these and stretched them out because I'm only trying to make 50 to 100 pips because these moves are so short-lived. Now here you have to trade super wide. Alright then, so here comes the big, now you could, if you're really up on this thing and you're trying to build your account, you might want to cash out right at the top of the hour or like 5 minutes after. But all these orders add up. I don't even know how many tickets are in here. Really not that many because the leverage really sucks here. See, this hasn't even hit its target. This one cashes out. And if I look at my history, I can see if it lit up where it's supposed to go. Okay, so at this point, I could hit the take all profits key. Or I wait 5 more minutes. And they're pulling back on the smaller time frames, they're pulling back this euro to dollar. Still got some wind left in the Australian. I mean, this thing's been going down for how long? So seriously unfair value down there. So when this British pound's backing off, I'm going to come in and place orders beneath it. You got to be careful when you place this bi-directional limit thing. Make sure you don't put it above price because it'll become sell limits. That's the one thing you got to watch. I did rewrite these so that there is one, I filtered out the side of it, so I made a buy limit and a sell limit version of that. And that, I don't know how many people are into the mechanics of trading, but typically that's how you make money is trade plans. And I could show you these, or I could post these in a new category in the script trading thing of a filtered, so it's only going to be a sell limit. This is only going to be a buy limit up here. So I think I'm going to let that ride. This looks like it is going to crush north now. The news is out, and here comes the dollar meltdown. And gold's oversold. It's just a year-end house cleaning. We could get a psycho retrace. So I just cashed out of something here. So I'm getting out of my margin. Ideally, I'll be getting out of this margin as we go through the swing, and that's the ultimate situation. Is you get this nice clearing out where you totally go flat into the. Let's see, where are we at here? Can't see. Okay, so I'm getting out of stuff and reducing my exposure along the way. And the 5-minute trader should come in 5 minutes after, and everybody's freaking out. It's a classic. It's a classic move. Very tempting to bail on this right now. Take the money and run, but the stock market's going to open up in 25 minutes, and that's always a big deal. If you're watching when the stocks open, you'll see the market spaz out up in there. Okay, so we just got out of more stuff. Just predetermined exits. Still not out on these though. So these are the ones that'll drift up. And we could make it to the 50-yard line here. Be beautiful. You had to wait in this thing overnight though. You had to endure the spending quite a bit of time in the market here. But that was a gimme trade. I want to see a market smashing down like that. You know, it's incredible if you go to the weekly and see where you're at in the big scheme. It was about taking out this, crushing into that. Okay, so 5-minute traders. I got about 30 seconds here. But see, now my margin's about almost half of what it was last night, and I could probably, like the old saying says, let your profits run. So right into the, in 25 minutes, I come back here and we let that run right into the stock market. So I'm gonna start putting sell limits up above on the treetops. Okay, so we're cashing out. Looking for a big slam down in dollar yen. Come off this parabolic move and smash into these limits tonight, maybe. Okay, so I'm up. If I cashed out right now, I'd be up 500 on the week, all with single 1K drops. So people, all the naysayers would say, "Well, you're just trading demo money." Oh well, you figured out. I mean, now here's the. It's going to hit the. It's going to hit this, and I can't post all the. I almost felt like that guy wanted my home address for a second. Well, prove to me that you. Listen, I could trade a 1K. I have no stress in making $5 with a $3 stop, but I've got a ton of orders in there. Let's take a look at the daily. Stay on the daily chart here. So we're just keep cutting new ground here. And hopefully that's going to, although hope's not a strategy, it is here. It's just going to climax in it. Now I could hit the take all profits key. So it's buy the rumor, sell the fact. So I'm going to go flat. And I'm going to reload. Let's see how fast this broker gets me out. This is Trader's Way. So that's a big move. Now we're waiting for the stock market to open. We can get in a little bit tamer positions now. So have to bank that. Because these markets just turn on a dime. Reduce the exposure considerably here. It's pretty quick at getting out. So here's, I got two losers using $16 a margin. It's as simple as that. So that's my demo update. Swing trade. Now I'm going to come back in with buy limits all over again for the retest, possible retest. And this is the easy part of trading, is you can just sit back and say, you know what, I banked some money. Let's see what happens. I don't care what happens. And you really don't have any horse in the fight here. These guys you could trim these off if you didn't want to see the leverage is so bad. I'm using $16 just to be in this, but I guess it kicks you out. It keeps you from blowing up the account if you don't realize the power of leverage. And I think a lot of people, the problem with leverage, they don't understand that they're controlling, at this point, you're controlling $3,000, still $3,000. And I was watching that Ryan guy do his video, and he was calling it $1. Well, I'm in a dollar position. No, you're in $100,000, man. When you see 1.00, that's 100,000. It's not a dollar position. Maybe in the UK that's what they call it, spread betting. I know it's funny when people say, "I'm in a dollar, I'm in a penny." No, you're at 1,000. 0.01 is $1,000. It is inconceivable because you're just kind of looking at your wins and stuff. You're looking at your. So I'm short the euro here on my scalping account. I put a basket of sell limits up there. But definitely takes some patience to swing trade that through that whole move. Here's the, I'm going to put a link to the demo account here. And the guy that you'll never meet, this is his, this guy's about 140 years old. He's been trading since they were trading rice over in, with real candlesticks. And this is the, where we're at in this thing. So I'm up 95%. I don't know if that helps anybody. Close profit of 95 points or something. Or 95, I don't know what that is. 95 cents. 95 whatevers. I don't know much about this statistical stuff. Margin level. Floating, I'm down 63 cents. So I guess I made 95 bucks. I don't know what that means. Those are stats. See bad win percentage. FX Blue only allows one account. And I don't know what 95 means. Here's the stats. Okay, I'm making 3%. Monthly return 3%. Very small. Very small orders. I don't know why I can't scroll down on that. That's odd. And I got a nice balanced diet here. A lot of pound though. A lot of euro. A little bit of see, this is the one I had to get rid of. But that's it. I don't know. Pips, 3 days. 3 days of trading there. So we're trying to get back in on some other stuff. Still down $1.60. It's really killing me. We could get a total retest on all this stuff. Here, this is pulling back. So really aggressive. You just start coming underneath that. And the British pound could still go out and take the low of the day now. It's pretty much just a scalp. I'm not going to ride this out because these markets are just like that. They just turn on a dime and they just come back and clobber your face off, and you're just not going to ever see. I was tempted to get out last night. I was up and I was just going to bail and then reload. And that's why I automated a lot of the entries, because reloading is another drama onto its own. See him smash back this. If you go to the, plus if you're looking at the 30-minute, you're just going to kind of crap your pants on some of these moves. So here, obviously, the reason why you would get out here is because this is where the top of the day is and the sellers come in there. That's just how it is. You don't need to take a course in institutional trading to see. If you can't find the high of the day, then maybe you shouldn't be trading. But see the sellers come in for the scalp there? Not to say they can't pull it back. And here I'd say, okay, I'll buy this top. I'll buy this top. I'll buy here. I'll buy. And as long as your ratios are good, if they smash that back down, same thing here. Go to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so buy here, right? Buy there. But I just do a whole separate thing on these drops. I'll just call it multi-drop or a grid drop, or it's really in its precision, because where you put your cursor is where it builds that grid bank, and everything's equal size. If your broker lets you trade 1K, trade 1K, because you can always put 100 tickets into one of these scripts and launch the whole damn thing. So this is what it looks like. You can turn all these tickets on or off. I just filtered this down to a few here. In the span, you get your pip spacing here. Here's your risk-reward ratios, and here's the spacing of the grid. But I don't want to, so I'm down 16 cents here. So I'm up on these two. So if I hit the take profits key and I really do want to go flat, and just sometimes, I think right after I got out of the institution, I was a little bit neurotic, and I would say, I just want to take everything off that's a winner. I just want to go flat. But then I started to take some more of my meds, and I kind of calmed down. I felt a lot better. I was able to ride out a swing trade after that. Okay, so the stock market's going to open. We could get a retest, slam back, start filling on some of these retest orders. So that's it for now.